When someone underestimates you or causes you emotional pain, the natural impulse is often to react immediately. Words are fired off, messages sent, confrontations, staged actions taken in the heat of the moment. While these reactions can provide a temporary sense of satisfaction, they also carry consequences. Responding impulsively often gives the other person control over your emotions and feeds into a cycle where your energy is consumed by their actions. Silence, on the other hand, is a deliberate and strategic choice. It is not the absence of strength. It is a display of strength, patience, and emotional intelligence. When you choose silence, you are refusing to be drawn into a reactionary state. You are protecting your dignity and refusing to validate the drama that someone else is trying to create. Silence has a power that words rarely match. When you withhold your reaction, you create an absence that the other person cannot easily fill. They begin to question the impact of their own behavior. Why isn't he upset? Why isn't she chasing me? The silence becomes a mirror, reflecting their actions back at them, forcing them to confront the consequences internally rather than externally. They begin to feel the weight of their behavior not through your confrontation, but through the quiet evidence of your composure. Your peace becomes a form of communication that is far more powerful than arguing or pleading because it demonstrates mastery over your emotions. This form of silence is not about avoidance or weakness. It is a conscious decision to exercise self-control and emotional intelligence. When you react impulsively, you give someone else the power to manipulate your feelings. By remaining silent, you reclaim that power. You maintain control over your internal world while the other person remains entangled in the uncertainty of your response. Every unanswered text, every unspoken word, every moment of composure in the face of provocation builds a subtle but undeniable authority. People notice it whether consciously or unconsciously. They feel the absence of your reaction, and that absence becomes uncomfortable for them because it is unexpected and unmanageable. Furthermore, silence allows you the space to observe and analyze the situation objectively. When emotions run high, decisions and reactions are rarely rational. By stepping back and choosing not to engage, you create clarity. You can see the motives, the behaviors, and the patterns without being clouded by anger, frustration, or hurt. This clarity is empowering. It ensures that when action is necessary, it is deliberate and effective rather than reactive and regrettable. Over time, the consistent use of silence builds respect, both for yourself and from others. It communicates that your worth is not contingent upon external validation or approval. It demonstrates that your life is not dictated by someone else's inability to act responsibly or respectfully. This is especially impactful when the other person is used to provoking reactions and expects them. Your refusal to play that game changes the dynamic entirely. You are no longer a participant in the chaos. You are a calm, composed observer. In essence, silence is a form of strength that communicates more than words ever could. It is an affirmation of your self-worth and emotional resilience. By choosing not to react, you allow the other person's actions to reveal themselves fully while you maintain control, dignity, and peace of mind. Over time, this quiet power leaves a lasting impression that cannot be ignored, and it ensures that your response, or lack thereof, becomes a statement far more potent than any argument or confrontation could ever be. Silence is not merely a tactic. It is a strategy for preserving your integrity, asserting your power, and creating a space where your life is defined by your choices rather than someone else's behavior. It is a decision to rise above the noise, to remain centered, and to let your composure speak volumes. Those who seek to provoke or hurt you will ultimately feel the weight of their actions most keenly, not through confrontation, but through the profound and enduring strength of your silence. Time is an invisible force that works in ways that are often underestimated. When someone hurts you, betrays you, or underestimates your value, the immediate reaction is often to seek justice, confrontation, or closure. Yet the true power lies not in instantaneous retaliation, but in allowing time to unfold naturally. Time becomes your ally, silently revealing truths and consequences that no argument or emotional outburst could ever accomplish. Every moment that passes without a reactive response becomes a testament to yourself, control, patience, and inner strength. While others may rush to see immediate results, your restraint ensures that the eventual impact is far more profound and long-lasting. Time is particularly effective because it is impartial and relentless. It affects everyone equally, yet it often works to reveal the depth of a person's mistakes more clearly to those who fail to appreciate what they had. When you choose to step back and let life continue without forcing explanations or demanding recognition, you are allowing the natural course of events to demonstrate your worth. The person who hurt you begins to notice your absence differently. Their initial expectations of control or emotional disturbance are unmet. Instead of seeing you upset or desperate, they see a calm and composed individual whose life continues forward. This is a form of quiet retribution. It's not about revenge in a vengeful sense. It's about the undeniable demonstration of your resilience and progress. The beauty of time as a tool is that it compounds the effect of your silence and emotional detachment. As days, months, and years go by, the choices you've made to prioritize your own growth and happiness accumulate, creating visible results that cannot be ignored. Every personal achievement, every milestone reached, and every moment of peace you experience becomes a subtle, living proof of your strength. Meanwhile, the person who underestimated you or acted carelessly becomes increasingly aware of what they have lost or failed to influence. Over time, regret grows quietly, naturally, and powerfully. It is not forced or superficial. It is built on the undeniable reality of your life moving forward without them. Choosing to let time work for you also prevents the mistakes that come from reactive behavior. Acting out of anger, hurt, or frustration rarely leads to long-term satisfaction or resolution. Immediate reactions often escalate conflicts, create misunderstandings, and damage your own peace of mind. By contrast, allowing time to pass gives you perspective and clarity. It enables you to evaluate situations logically rather than emotionally, to see what truly matters and what deserves your energy. The person who hurt you may initially believe they have escaped consequence or gained advantage, but as time goes on, the effects of their choices become more apparent. Your life becomes a mirror reflecting the wisdom of restraint, self-mastery, and patience. Ultimately, time is the silent avenger. You do not need to orchestrate elaborate plans, confront the individual, or demand recognition for your resilience. Your continued growth, happiness, and calm presence are enough. Every year that passes without being affected by their actions intensifies the contrast between your life and the chaos they expected to create. This creates a profound psychological impact. They may try to rationalize, distract themselves, or move on, but the passage of time ensures that the reality of their choices becomes increasingly clear. Your silence, combined with the steady passage of time, transforms into a narrative of strength and inevitability, where your success and peace speak louder than any words ever could. Time teaches the lesson that true power often lies not in confrontation, but in patience. By embracing time as your ally, you allow life to demonstrate your worth, reveal the consequences of others' mistakes, and amplify the impact of your composure. It is a quiet, persistent force that ensures those who underestimated or hurt you will ultimately feel the weight of their actions, not in fleeting moments of conflict, but in the enduring reality of a life lived with strength, dignity, and purpose. Emotional detachment is one of the most powerful tools a person can develop in the face of challenges, heartbreak, or betrayal. It is not about being cold, indifferent, or unfeeling. Rather, it is about maintaining control over your inner world and refusing to allow external circumstances or other people's behavior to dictate your emotions. Many people fall into the trap of allowing their feelings to be hijacked by others, reacting impulsively to every slight insult or provocation. This not only drains their energy, but also gives the other person power over them. Emotional detachment, by contrast, creates a space where you can observe situations objectively, respond thoughtfully, and protect your well-being. It is a strategic choice that prioritizes your long-term happiness over short-term emotional gratification. Detachment allows you to separate your self-worth from external validation. When someone behaves poorly, hurts you, or underestimates your value, it can be tempting to chase explanations, seek apologies, or demand recognition. However, these actions often reinforce dependency on their approval, keeping you emotionally entangled in a situation that diminishes your autonomy. By practicing detachment, you recognize that your value is inherent and not contingent upon someone else's behavior. You no longer allow their actions to disturb your peace or define your sense of self. This inner independence creates a subtle but undeniable power because it shifts the dynamic. Instead of reacting to their whims, you maintain control, forcing them to confront the consequences of their behavior on their own terms. Emotional detachment also enhances your ability to make rational decisions. When emotions run high, clarity diminishes, and poor choices often follow. By cultivating detachment, you allow yourself the mental and emotional space to analyze situations objectively. You can identify patterns of behavior, motives, and intentions without being clouded by anger, hurt, or desperation. This perspective not only protects you from unnecessary conflict, but also allows you to act with purpose and precision when action is required. It ensures that any engagement you choose is deliberate, not impulsive, and that your energy is directed toward outcomes that serve your growth and happiness rather than temporary satisfaction. Another key aspect of emotional detachment is its psychological effect on others. When someone expects a reaction from you, whether anger, jealousy, or hurt, and instead encounters calm composure, it disrupts their expectations. They may feel unsettled, confused, or frustrated because they are no longer able to predict or control your responses. Your unaffected demeanor highlights your strength and self-mastery, creating a contrast between their inner turmoil and your equilibrium. This is particularly impactful when dealing with someone who has hurt or underestimated you, as it forces them to internalize the consequences of their actions rather than seeing them reflected externally through your reactions. Detachment does not mean ignoring your emotions or pretending they do not exist. It means acknowledging them, understanding them, and choosing not to be ruled by them. It is the conscious decision to prioritize long-term stability and growth over immediate emotional gratification. In practice, this can manifest as refraining from sending reactive messages, avoiding confrontations that serve no productive purpose, or simply taking a step back to allow clarity to emerge. Over time, this discipline strengthens your resilience and reinforces your confidence, because you recognize that your peace is non-negotiable and that your happiness depends on your own choices, not someone else's behavior. Ultimately, emotional detachment is a form of self-empowerment. It allows you to navigate life with clarity, confidence, and composure. It protects your energy, preserves your dignity, and ensures that you remain the author of your own story. By mastering detachment, you create a quiet but potent influence over others. They may try to provoke, manipulate, or upset you, but your calm presence demonstrates that their attempts are ineffective. This inner mastery becomes a strategic advantage, allowing you to focus on personal growth, success, and happiness, while those who sought to disrupt your peace confront the consequences of their actions in the absence of your reaction. In essence, emotional detachment is not withdrawal. It is the active cultivation of power, presence, and peace that transforms challenges into opportunities for long-term strength and fulfillment. Success is the ultimate form of silent vindication, a way to demonstrate your worth, strength, and resilience without uttering a single word. While many people focus on confrontation, explanations, or trying to make others feel guilty for their actions, true power lies in allowing your life itself to communicate the message. Every achievement, every personal milestone, and every moment of genuine happiness becomes proof of your ability to rise above negativity and maintain control over your own destiny. Success does not need to be loud or ostentatious. It only needs to be real, consistent, and undeniable. The person who wronged you or underestimated you cannot ignore the visible evidence of your progress and growth. When you dedicate yourself to self-improvement, personal development, and the pursuit of meaningful goals, you shift your energy away from the desire for revenge and toward building a life that is fulfilling and extraordinary. This is the essence of Corey Wayne's philosophy. Instead of being preoccupied with what others have done, you focus on becoming the best version of yourself. In doing so, you create a natural imbalance in the dynamic. The person who expected you to falter or remain emotionally entangled finds themselves confronting the reality of your success. Their regret grows quietly but powerfully as they realize the opportunity they lost, the influence they never gained, and the strength of your character that they underestimated. The beauty of turning success into silent vindication is that it is both passive and proactive. You are not actively seeking to punish anyone, yet the impact of your growth is undeniable. Every promotion you achieve, every relationship you cultivate, every moment of peace you enjoy, and every goal you accomplish becomes a statement. It says more than any argument, confrontation, or social media post ever could. Your life becomes the message, and the person who hurt you becomes acutely aware of what they cannot change, control, or reverse. Time amplifies this effect. Each passing year, without being affected by their actions, adds weight to the truth of your resilience and the permanence of your success. Success also reinforces your emotional independence. When your accomplishments and personal fulfillment are the focus, the opinions or actions of others lose their power to disturb your peace. You derive satisfaction from your own efforts and growth, not from someone else's recognition or validation. This independence is another subtle form of influence. People notice when someone is thriving without their involvement or approval. It creates a natural respect and, in many cases, regret, because they are confronted with the consequences of their own choices through the lens of your achievements. Moreover, success is a form of long-term strategy. Confrontation or emotional reactions may produce short-term relief, but they rarely leave a lasting impression. In contrast, the steady accumulation of accomplishments and personal growth builds an undeniable legacy. The person who underestimated or hurt you may attempt to move on, distract themselves, or rationalize their behavior, but your life serves as a constant, silent reminder of their oversight. The longer you maintain this trajectory, the more powerful the message becomes. Your strength, composure, and progress are independent of their involvement, and their attempts to diminish you have failed, ultimately turning your success into silent vindication is about living intentionally and refusing to let anyone else define your worth. By focusing on self-improvement, emotional mastery, and personal fulfillment, you create a reality where your life itself is a testament to your resilience. This is a victory that does not require confrontation, explanation, or revenge. It is the quiet, unstoppable consequence of living with purpose, discipline, and integrity. Every achievement, every joyful moment, and every sign of personal growth becomes proof that your path is yours alone, and that those who underestimated you will feel the weight of their choices. Through the undeniable evidence of your thriving life,